What's up, everybody? This is Justin with the 41st Acre. I've got two of my good buddies, Casey Strickland and Scott Takis. Nailed it. Two Aggie brothers of ours. They are in a college fantasy football league with me. And we have a lot of shit talking that we go back and forth with. And usually it's about fantasy football and about some horrible trades that these guys make, just robbing people. But today we're here to talk trash about each other's college football teams. Both these guys went to A&M. Are y'all wearing those rings? Damn it. I can
Never
go get
got
mine
mine.
too.
So
Oh, you never? Okay.
no, no. Yeah, I my now wife, I got her pregnant our junior year, so we had to leave campus. No, I'm just kidding. I'm still a virgin. Uh, no, but I was up there 3 years. Uh, didn't do too well in school, so I came back to Houston and finished at U of H downtown.
That's right. I still count you as an Aggie grad, though.
Thank you,
So you're
thank you.
good. You're
I
good. That's
appreciate
Aggie
it.
math for you. Um, but no, so Casey brought up something the other day in our text thread and was mentioning that usually he's not a big shit talker, and even in some situations would cheer for UT in the past, right? Not necessarily cheer for them, but you didn't really cheer against them. Like you weren't always anti-Texas. But
Right.
something happened last year about some, I don't know, shit talking or something that you wanted to, that you said just got you fired up, and literally from Monday morning on, Sunday morning on, all I've been seeing is just you just kind
Yeah.
of
The
going,
rivalry's back, baby. It's
yeah,
Thanksgiving week. It's rivalry week. It's awesome. We're here. It's Friday. The game's tonight. I'm
yeah.
pumped. I'm excited.
Well, I mean,
And so now, go ahead.
sorry, sorry. Historically, I mean, we on our side haven't been in this situation much. Playing this
Yeah.
game, so it's kind of a different feeling for us. Because usually, as an Aggie fan, you're thinking, how are they going to let you down, right? And hasn't happened yet. They tried to do it 2 weeks ago against South Carolina, but
Yeah.
somehow pulled it out. Anyways, so what I'm saying is I feel a little bit different going into this game as opposed to last year and obviously in years past.
Yeah.
A little
No,
more
that's
confident.
huge. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, coming in with an 11-0 record and you're favored coming into Austin in a rivalry game. Like you couldn't feel like you're in a better spot. And you're guaranteed, I mean, I'll say it, you're guaranteed to go into the playoffs, okay? I
Yeah.
don't see how even at 11-1, all right, cool, you go to the SEC championship, you go 11-2, like you're not getting out. So, like that's
Well,
just
the
sitting
crazy
on
thing
cloud
is,
nine.
sorry to cut you off. The crazy thing is, if we lose today, we can't go to the conference championship game. Well, if
You
Auburn
could,
beat Bama,
right? You need
and
two
then
or three to lose. Georgia,
Mississippi State to beat Ole Miss,
right?
and then Georgia'd have to lose as well. But yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
If we were 11-1 and not even go to the conference championship game, which may
yeah.
help though because uh, then you don't have a chance to lose again. I guess.
If that's not an Aggie mentality right there, I don't know what
Yeah,
is.
yeah. Well, because that's the thing. Like, do you think say A&M lost today, 11-1? Do you think they'd still get a bye, like a top four?
I don't know. I think it depends on who wins out of the
Yeah, true.
SEC, and
Yeah,
then it depends on who the Big Ten is. 'Cause you still have Oregon up there, and
yeah,
if they go 11-1 as well, and their one loss is to Indiana, who's also in the Big Ten championship, it's gonna be
right.
really tight. It just
Yeah,
depends on strength of schedule stuff at that point,
true,
and
true.
if you lose today, how bad does it look?
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
think that's all that matters. But yeah, you're right. And I don't even think we've been in a situation where both teams have been ranked all that often. Like it's pretty tough getting this to this point and
yeah.
seeing both
Yeah.
Texas and Texas A&M ranked, which is awesome to see. And that's where the state of Texas football should be. And I don't mean UT, I mean the entire state. Look at what Texas Tech is doing.
Yeah.
Like we have enough players here, and there's enough good coaches and money and NIL. We should all be able to eat, quite honestly. And it'll be super fun if Texas is able to miraculously get into the playoffs by whatever chain events that need to happen to have three teams in and potentially lining up against each other.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. So Casey, the something you said, something I said last year is what pissed you off, and all I
I
said,
can't remember. I can't remember what it is, but something fueled the fire and brought out the rivalry in me, and so
okay,
now I'm all about it. It's a
all
good thing.
right,
It's a healthy thing. It makes it more fun.
there you go.
Um, I think it started with just a little banter last year when I drove by the house blaring the Aggie War Hymn on
Oh, that's
Thanksgiving.
right. You did.
Yeah,
Bastard. I
and
forgot about that.
then I don't remember what was said after that, and it just I don't know. It just added fuel to the fire. So now
Oh,
we're here.
you drove by his house?
He did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was on my way to Mike's. Mike still lives out by him, and I was like, "Hey, man, let's just swing by their house. I think they have family over right now. I know they're there. They have like you can do a loop around their house pretty
Mm-hmm.
much. They have like a back alley to go past
Mm-hmm.
their back patio area where I was expecting them to be cooking for Thanksgiving. Then you can drive past their front porch,
Yep.
and so we blared the whole Aggie War Hymn doing loops
Yep.
after loop after loop.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I had to tell all my neighbors I'm sorry, but it's all good. We're good.
Yeah,
Baby.
last year's game was crazy because the winner went to the SEC championship game, right? If I
Yeah.
remember right.
Had
Yeah.
a lot on the line. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of like we were kind of limping into it because we started strong like always, and then had lost
Had
at
lost
Auburn in double overtime or whatever that was, and then had lost at South Carolina, and then we're like, oh, we get another chance. All we got to do is win a game, and just couldn't,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, Texas was on the way up last year, and
Yeah.
we were on the way down. I mean, we had a good first half, and then just tanked after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I guess this year is actually kind of the exact opposite as far as like I think
Yeah.
probably the records were the same last year. Were y'all undefeated, Texas?
No, we had lost to Georgia, so we were
That's right.
10 and
Okay.
1 going
Yeah.
into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think our records this year and our ranking this year isn't a true showing of what those teams are. I think Texas is actually a little bit better than the ranking. I think A&M is worse than 3. But
So
that's
that's
just my
actually.
opinion.
Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, I think Texas has probably played a tougher schedule. I mean, if you think about A&M's, the win against Notre Dame is really good, but early on, and then other than that, we've just beaten who's on our schedule. I guess I'm trying to think of who's
Yeah,
the
you've
next.
beaten. That's actually something I wanted to ask you. I was going to say, considering y'all have played and beat 7 of the bottom 8 SEC ranked teams, I think only 2 of them have a winning record overall, but the rest of them are under 500 in conference, I believe. So considering that is a lot of how Texas was last year, though. We played a lot of backup quarterbacks, freshman quarterbacks, teams who were just injured and on the bottom half of the SEC. And we felt good. We felt like our defense, like, man, look at them. But as soon as we faced Georgia or Ohio State, immediately it was different, right? Like the same level of talent and really good coaching, it was just different. So Notre Dame, I think, is probably the closest that y'all could have. And I would arguably say, like, they're a different team than what they were at the beginning of the year. And I think y'all are too. Otherwise, I mean, LSU is probably the closest.
Missouri.
Yeah, but you'll play against Zollers.
Yeah,
that's true.
And all you had to do was stop Hardy, and it was easy. So, considering,
I will say this. I mean, yeah, we haven't played the easy or hardest schedule, but I mean, those teams like South Carolina and Arkansas, they put up fights.
they
Their
did.
SEC teams, they've got solid NFL talent on their teams. They just don't have as much as a Texas or an A&M or a Georgia.
Yeah.
Well, I say A&M, but we'll see. A Georgia and an Alabama would have, but those teams are still really good teams, and they played really close games against a lot of these other top SEC teams.
Yeah. Yeah. And go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, sorry. And another thing is too, like, think about like the Auburn game. They ended up pulling it out 16-10. It was a nasty game, but those games like Auburn, South Carolina, at least those two, we lose those in the past. So I think that's what's different with this team.
Learning how to win.
Halftime adjustments or whatever it may be. It just feels different, I guess, this season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you
And
can
that's
tell the
important.
culture is changing. I mean, this is only a 1-year sample, really. I mean, you can see a little bit of turn last year, but this year, it just feels different to us. It feels like the culture is changing now. We got to continue to win, and we got to roll in the next year after losing most likely a lot of players, and prove that we can continue that. But something does feel different this year compared to last. Like Scott said, we would lose those games, get down, and there's no way of flipping it. But I think we got the coaching staff that can make the adjustments, and the players have their heads right at least this year to pull off a tough win.
Yeah. That's
We've won
fair.
in many different ways. We've won down big. We've won close fights. We've won, low scoring games. We've just found a way to eke it out.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
that's fair. Learning how to win is an important part of becoming a great football team. You can be good, but to get to good to great, you got to learn how to win. And it's a single possession games. It's against the ones where you're down 30-3 and all that. So I think that's a great call. We're going to take a quick break and come right back. And we're back. Sorry about that. We had to take a quick pause in recording. So I had a second question for you guys that I really want to dig into is, I can tell you guys, and we kind of were just talking about it off air, what the biggest difference is between Texas last year and this year. So I'll present it to you guys. What's the biggest difference between Texas A&M Aggies last year and 2025 version? Casey, why don't you go first?
I think there's a few things. I know we talked about it off air. The culture seems to be a changing. I think the biggest thing for us though this year is that the O line is a veteran O line and has taken a big step forward. And so while they were good last year, they weren't great, and this year they've been a strength of our team. I think Marcel, while he still lacks accuracy, and at times just looks flat, but then at other times can turn on the switch. Last year he didn't have that switch that he can really turn on. You didn't really see that very often. So Marcel can win a game if his head's right and he's accurate. I think those are the biggest things. We're able to run the ball fairly well. Without Le'Veon Moss, it's been a little bit difficult to run. I feel like we've still been successful in the run game, but it hadn't been the same without Le'Veon Moss. The other backs just can't seem to eke out those extra yarders. Not that they're not good. Ruben Owens is great, but he has to get in the open field to flash what he has.
He's kind of like.
So I think those are the biggest thing. And then what's that?
Would you say he's kind of like a Devon Achane? Like get him in space.
No, he's a one. He's not as fast and overall speed or quick as Achane. He's a one cut back that's got some speed on him.
Okay.
He's bulked up a lot over the off season, but he's still not going to eke you out those extra yards like Le'Veon Moss. So we got the news yesterday that Moss. We were hoping he'd come back this game. He's not back. He won't play, and then Ruben was banged up as well. So hopefully he's healthy enough that we can find something on the ground. But outside of that, I think Mike Elko took over the defensive play calling this year, and I think that made a huge change in how successful we've been on defense. I think our weakness is still stopping the run game, which luckily for us, Texas has kind of not been great at on the run side.
Yep.
But that's kind of our biggest weakness. But Mike Elko taking over the play calling, I think, has been a huge change on the defensive side. So those are probably Mike Elko. Melko. So yeah, I would say those two things. That mainly the O line. Well, three things: O line progressing, Marcel Reed improving, and then Elko taking over the defense has made a pretty big change from last year to this year.
Nice. Okay.
I think. Sorry, real quick. Can I cut in?
Yeah.
Please. The biggest difference for me is the receivers, the transfer guys. Concepcion, Cracker, and then the freshman Ashton Bethel Roman's been coming on lately. And it's just like it's given Reed like he can. It's weird to say, but he can still be inaccurate, and these guys will bail him out. Like he'll throw a pass like that would sail over someone's head last year, and these guys will go up and get it. So I think it's made Reed more comfortable. It's made him feel like more confident that he can get the ball at the outside, and because the big plays this year have been huge. Craver's big touchdown against Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw like a big play efficiency stat or something like that. And A&M's, in the top 10, I think, as far as big plays.
Yeah.
So those receivers have helped a lot for sure.
Yeah, that's a big one I missed. Scott's nailed it. Like that's the biggest difference for us, especially on offense, is explosive plays.
Yeah.
And those two receivers are a huge factor in that. you'll see a lot of short plays, screen plays, and Mario Craver turns into 15, 20 yards. And so, yeah, it's a huge adjustment where our offense didn't have that last year at all.
Yeah.
And so,
What about I saw this. I think y'all's field goal kicker is like 60% on the year.
he's struggling for sure.
Yeah, I feel like A&M, you've always had great punters and kickers, like for whatever reason. I don't know if that's because what y'all do all the time historically or kind of what may have been happening. But what if it comes down to I don't know, 50-yard, 45-yard field goal to tie or win the game at the end of it? How you feeling?
I want to say I'm not 100% on this. I want to say he lost the job in the off season,
Mm-hmm.
but then the guy that won the job got hurt, so now Bond's the kicker again.
Got it.
Right.
No, I wouldn't
Which I
feel.
think
I
the guy
wouldn't.
that got hurt got to play some with last week, given that it was just an easier opponent, and I think he actually missed one as well. So, I mean, there's talks around the Aggies that, you know, if it comes down to that they can win or lose you a playoff game, it can win or lose you an SEC championship, and it can win or lose us tonight.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's definitely a worry for us.
Yeah. Okay. I was curious about that. I didn't realize how bad y'all's, not that he was horrible, but like, I mean, 60% is what got Bert Auburn kicked out, not kicked, but asked to leave from Texas last year. So I feel your pain.
I will
lost
say this:
games where,
Vaughn has made some big time SEC field goals as well, so he can do it. But yeah, there's definitely the worry there, given that we've missed them, especially South Carolina. You're missing a 20-something yarder. It's right there. It's a chip shot, and you hit the post.
Yep.
And that was at a time where it was early in that game, but we needed it.
Yeah, you needed to feel
and
positive.
luckily, we flipped the script the second half. But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel good if it came down to make it to win it. Yeah, no, I'd rather have a bigger lead than that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we don't have to get into any predictions or anything just yet. I got my two biggest questions out of the way. Did y'all want to ask anything or have any perspective or anything y'all wanted to share on, just what Texas has been this year? I know, Casey, you kind of touched on earlier. You're saying, maybe it was off air, talking about that you still think Texas has some good talent. But so does that worry you at all, or kind of what are y'all's feeling about the Texas team versus?
I told Scotty yesterday I'm predicting us to lose. To be honest,
Okay.
I got a close fight, 17-24, 17-28, something like that.
Okay.
But I think it's a rivalry game. We've struggled against good defenses. Marcel struggled against good defenses. And so I think it's going to be a close fight. I think it can go either way, but I'm predicting that we lose tonight, to be honest.
Okay. And Scott, you don't have to give a prediction now if you don't want to, but if you want to, go for it. But what is the one thing that would worry you? Because we talked a little bit about some of the Texas defense, and are they as good as what their reputation is right now? Not sure. But kind of what are your feelings whenever you look at the Texas team and how they line up against A&M?
Yeah, I think the keys will be obviously if Arch gets protection, if he gets time, that'll be a problem because I think our back end is and the secondary is not, they're not bad, but they've been helped out a lot this year by our front because we're getting home, with Cassius Howell and those guys getting sacks. So I think that's probably the matchup we're looking at is as bad as Texas O line has been, as good as our defensive line has been. In our third down efficiency, I think we're number one in the nation as far as the defense, holding people to converting first downs on third down.
Nice.
So that's the key to me. If we can get to Arch, I think I don't see how Texas can move the ball. I just don't see them being able to run the ball much. So they're just gonna have to let it rip, I think. And I don't know. That's one thing I wanted to ask you is like with because we see it, you and I've seen it with the Texans. It's kind of with the O-line problems. Have you seen any adjustment in like the play calling or are you satisfied with, because you try to get it out quick and run, stuff that you don't actually need much protection. Like, have you seen any difference? Have they adjusted to that?
Definitely. So against Arkansas, it was the first time we've been able to throw deep successfully, consistently for 3-4 quarters all year, and that's because Arkansas's pass defense is one of the worst in the nation, right?
Yeah.
When you look at them against anybody else, Arch does have some good passing numbers, and our rush yards look horrible. But I would say that with that swing pass to Wingo that seems to work every freaking play is just an extension of the run game. And that's what they have to do because, yeah, man, when that defense is, ears pinned back, ready to come after him, it's either a quick throw to one side or the other or a bootleg or something where Arch has to make something happen. Now, when Arch gets time and he doesn't have pressure right up the middle, honestly, he's really improved over the year. So I'm pretty happy with the way that the offensive line has gotten better, but it could be a little recency biased considering we just played Arkansas. Because against Georgia, Arch didn't have a horrible game. I know that they only put up 7 points or whatever it was, 10 points, but Arch wasn't horrible. We've seen really bad Arch earlier in the season, and since then, if you tell me, hey, even against Georgia, he's going to put up 250 yards, no touchdowns, but that was fine. He needs a little bit more there. Don't get me wrong, but that was just a fourth quarter failure all around. So, yeah, I think that at the end of the day, the offensive line is getting a little bit better. I think that the screen passing, the window dressing that they used to do in the beginning of the season, what Sark wants to do, where, there was that one play that they consistently ran with Quinn where he would turn back, fake it this way, fake it that way, turn around, and then screen pass it this way. And it took 6 seconds for the play to happen, but it was, all except one time I can think of, it worked great. We don't have the time to do that stuff. So starting against Kentucky when they were down, and he had to make that fourth quarter drive, I believe. It was just one of those dude, line up and throw. Hey, guys, go. You go. I'll figure it out back here. Offensive line is nothing. And I think he's got nothing but mad respect from his team after the countless he didn't miss a rep in practice. Every time after he got knocked down in every game, he went back out there every single time. I think that just earned him a lot of respect from those guys, and I think they're finally starting to nut up a little bit and actually say, all right, we can do this. If he can do that and put his body on the line, then we should be able to do this. So I think Sark is really simplifying the play calling, and every now and then he's still going to try and take his shots, and they've been pretty good at it recently. Unfortunately, I don't know if they're going to have the time to do that against A&M. You guys are, second in the league in sacks this year. So, I think that it's going to be either that quick passing or maybe some draw plays, maybe get you guys, your edges coming around too fast and then just run the ball where you guys vacate. So I'm not sure what he has. And this is going to be a really good litmus test of, so right now when Texas plays against OU with Venables, Sark owns Venables. For whatever reason, he can get the guys up for that game, and he has great play calls the whole game.
Yeah.
Is it about to be the same against Elko? I know it's only 2 games after today, but is it going to start teetering that way of why can't Elko just defend this? Because truthfully, Texas probably should have won 24-0, or maybe you guys got a couple of field goals. I know y'all didn't go for a couple of field goals last game, but y'all didn't score an offensive touchdown, right? That was a pick 6 that damn near was a touchdown for Texas. So it's just one of those, where does that go? But like you said, I don't know if Elko was calling the defense last year. So
no, he wasn't.
Not even in that game, right?
No.
So
he might have had input into it, but he wasn't the official play caller.
Yeah.
From what we know.
It's good. There are 2 really good minds in their own right, one on offense, one on defense. I don't know. If you show off coverage against Wingo on the first play, you better believe that they're going to throw the screen route, immediately. So, yeah, I don't know if they'll be able to run the ball. I did notice that y'all are 81st in the nation, specifically in a rushing EPA on the road. Y'all's defense. Y'all are in the lower half of defending the run on the road. But that could be because y'all are up by so much that you're playing prevent defense, and you just
and that was one of my questions for you. That's been a struggle for our defense. If we have our biggest weakness is probably running, stopping the run would be my guess.
Okay.
we've seen it in Notre Dame, we've seen it in South Carolina, we've seen it against some of the easier teams earlier in the year. We've gotten better at it, and I think it really comes down to the run fits, but I think it's still a struggle.
Yeah.
Which, from what I've heard, Texas has struggled running the ball, right? I wanted to get your thoughts on y'all's run game, and if y'all think y'all have got any better. Because if y'all can find a way to run the ball, that's where I feel like our weakness is, and that's where y'all can beat us in the trenches right there. Is if if you can win in the trenches, then you can definitely capitalize on that against us.
Yeah. I would say the number one thing about the run game, dude, whenever Texas goes up to Dallas and plays OU, it's a rivalry game. Everybody comes out with another chip on their shoulder. So yeah, I mean, I think you're going to see more physicality out of the run game. Will they be able to maintain it, or will it only last like the first quarter? I don't know. But the best running performance we had, like truthfully, maybe not the most yards, but the best running performance we've had all year was against OU. As the third best defense we've played. But we weren't, I don't even know, I think we ran for like 125 yards. Like it wasn't a lot, but they were timely. Hey, we need to win this first down. Cool. Here's 7 yards. And it was like a combination of Wisner was just able to maintain his balance and break tackles or a wide open hole. We were doing like a outside zone run, which is weird because we don't typically do zone runs. So the run game has been atrocious this year, to say the least. Wisner's not that guy. He's a jag to me. Baxter's injured. He's a shell of himself, which is why I traded him to Cats. And I just don't know if they have a guy back there that can do it. And the offensive line sometimes doesn't look like they know how to freaking run. They get too many false starts, too many holds. Like this is the kind of stuff I was telling y'all off air of like we just vent about the stuff that we see Texas sucking at. All right, they can pull off these wins sometimes, but it's not because of good all around play. It's honestly mainly because of Arch. Like Arch just has been able to make things happen recently. And wide receivers are okay. I think Emmett Mosley can have a big game. I just don't feel very confident in the run game. But if there was ever a game for them to come back and start running the ball, it'd be this game. It makes sense. It's senior night against your rivals. You want to be able to run the ball and just control the game. So if we don't actually run the ball like a traditional style, I think, again, you'll see a lot of screen plays. And I would just call those extensions of the runs because it's basically a pitch to the outside, right? So I do think that if you count screen passes, then yeah, I think that they'll be able to move the ball running, but maybe not in the traditional way.
I say we've struggled against a dual threat quarterback as well, so even getting Arch going in the run game can be a big benefit to y'all in this game.
Yeah.
Y'all can get that to work. And I mean, y'all have a good set of receivers. This may be overall the best receiver group we'll have played. Maybe not the best individual receiver.
Yeah.
We've played some pretty good individual receivers, but this may be the best receiver core that we've played. What do you think, Scott? I know you've watched more UT than I have.
Hey, Livingstone, Moore, Wingo. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I'm trying to think who we've played, but yeah, I think that's probably right.
Yeah.
But I don't. I mean, like again, he's gonna have to have time to throw the ball. So
right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that he will have that time, but we'll see.
Yeah, it might be some of that. Like we rarely do RPOs, but it might be just like move the pocket, let Art kind of go to the right, go to the left, whatever, kind of flip one out there.
Well, I think that's like, like we were talking about, like Sark being the offensive, guru that he is. Like this will tell a lot, right? If he's able to call, a game plan that shows the weakness of A&M, or just changes the way they approach the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited. It's a game that we've been looking forward to all year. It's one that should have never gone away. Blame who you want, whatever. There was, an amazing rivalry on the field for, 100 years. And then we went into a Cold War, which kind of sucked, but it was still fun to pretend like we didn't care about each other. And then obviously last year, getting back into it. If you guys don't score an offensive touchdown this year, then that's 2 years in a row that you still haven't scored a touchdown. So
hey,
I think
it's possible.
I think if we don't score a touchdown, we'll probably lose.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, look at the Auburn game. Probably one of the upper third defenses that we played, and we struggled. We barely scored. And I can see a game like that if Texas's defense steps it up and Marcel has one of those days where he's just off. But we've always found a way to win this year, so hopefully that's what will happen. But
I think we'll score at least 4 touchdowns.
Okay. See, I think it's going to be a little higher scoring as well.
Yeah. The over-under is at 52.5 or something like that, I think. I think I would go over that.
27-24 is what they're expecting. I think if it's anything close, I think that'd be an awesome game. If it's a fourth quarter game, what a fun time, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I have some off-script questions for you now, unless you have anything else for me. No? Okay.
I think that's it.
Have y'all considered giving up before the game starts, or is it just better for you to get embarrassed on national TV and let that fuel your playoff run?
I've considered giving up. We're battered, dude.
Yeah.
We're in a place where we've never been, right? Texas 8-4 is Texas 11-0 right now, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
But I considered it. I decided not to give up.
Just not sure. Okay, so not giving up. Okay.
Yeah.
Last year I almost gave up. I almost walked away from Aggie football.
Wait, hold on.
There's just something still there.
He gives up every week.
He does give up every week, man.
He gives up every week, dude. We'll win. Obviously, we haven't lost, and he'll find something and be like, yeah, no, but this. And I'm like, dude, we're undefeated. Like, accept it, please.
I really look. I wasn't. Somebody asked me this the other day. Who would you rather see win? Because if OU and you guys make the playoffs, like, who would you rather see? Like, who are you going to cheer for? And I'll be honest, I'm not going to cheer for either team. Okay, like, I'm just not going to cheer for either team. But when I started to think about, like, all right, if they played each other, what do I want to see happen? And my response was not who do I want to see win. It was I would prefer to see the Aggies lose, just because I get more joy out of watching my friends and family just be distraught and pissed about stuff, because I have more of y'all in my family. I don't have a lot of OU friends and family. So it's unfortunate that I was asked that question and I had to say that I'm technically cheering for the Sooners, but like, yeah, at the end of the day, I want you guys to give up. And when you were at the South Carolina game, I was texting you like, oh man, you've reversed jinxed them, because in case y'all don't know this, which how would anybody here know this? Casey is the king of the reverse jinx in college fantasy football. It's the worst.
Didn't work though.
Fine. In the playoffs, you got to stop reverse jinxing. You just got to be confident. All right. But when you were at South Carolina, I was like, holy crap, dude, this team is perfect on the season. And you show up and they play like they've never played before.
That one was on you. Like, it was the first game you went to. You were on the hook for sure. Thank God.
That was me for sure. I was at halftime. I was looking over at my buddy and said, I should have never came. This is my fault.
That's so true. All right.
And
so
then
Casey,
you didn't think you can come back from that game either. Being down that much, playing the way that we were playing, it was just everything was going wrong. It was one thing after another, and you thought that there's no way this can get worse. And then we throw a pick in the red zone.
Yep.
There's no way this can get worse, and we dink a field goal off the post, and it just kept piling on. And then to see that comeback was crazy. But
yeah, we were watching at this cook-off we were at, and I was watching my buddy Jordan, who's also a Aggie grad, and I was just giving him a hard time. I was like, so Jordan, like, whenever you're watching your team struggle like this, like, are you superstitious? And he was like, yeah. I was like, well, stop doing whatever you're doing and go do something different, because whatever you're doing right now ain't helping the team. And he was like, you're right. And he went over and like started doing frontline stuff. And then I was like, hey, Jordan, Aggies just scored. He's like, all right, cool. Keep me updated. So, we all have our little things like that. What you got, Scott?
So check this out. So, you met Mitch, right? Our friend Mitch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, the Notre Dame game early on in the year, he wasn't able to watch it for some reason. So, like, after we won that game, he's like, I'm not gonna watch the game at all.
No more.
I was like, cool, all right. Hey, that works for me. So literally, he'd find something to do during the game and just check the score after the game.
Yeah.
And then for South Carolina, we went to a bar to watch it, and I was like, hey, do you want to come watch the game? He's like, no, you know my rule. And I was like, yeah, but I think you're good, dude. South Carolina. So he came to watch the game. And he's like, he's sitting there, and at halftime, I'm like, man, you actually might have to leave. Like you might. I think this might be on you. So there was actually two of my friends. It was on Casey and on Mitch, but
Oh,
they both pulled it out. So now he's redeemed. I think Mitch will be watching the game with me tonight, hopefully. So
yeah.
Nice.
we can keep it going.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, and this.
Well, Justin, you brought up the rivalry, OU, and then there's A&M. Which one's the bigger rival for y'all? And is it close?
I think internally, I like going to the Cotton Bowl more. It's such a fun experience. The crowd is split 50-50, and in 3 of the past 4 years, watching that stadium empty out, halfway through the fourth quarter or earlier is the best feeling ever, right? So I think I like going to that game more, but it's probably recency bias because I haven't seen Texas and Texas A&M play in person since 2011. Obviously, didn't get a chance to go to the game last year, so I could feel differently after today. And that's where my answer earlier, I said, well, I want to see the Aggies lose more than I want to see the Sooners lose, which is a weird thing to say, but I think I enjoy watching and going to the Red River rivalry more right now. But let's see if that changes after tonight. I know I'm gonna be pumped, dude. We're going down at 1:00. Like usually we show up, an hour before the game starts. We're getting down there and hanging out all day.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fun time. So,
well, another thing is too. It's like A&M hasn't mattered. Like we didn't even play for how many years.
right.
And so OU has mattered a lot more to you guys because they've been good, and you play them every year, and it means something,
Right.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, just not playing for that long, and then when we did play before, it wasn't really high stakes like it has been the past 2 years. So
right, exactly, and I think that's the really cool thing about but being in the same conference again, being good. NIL is helping both teams. Let's be honest, right? And the 12-team playoff, if it expands to 14 or whatever, like these games are still going to matter because maybe you're 8-3 going into it and you need to be 9-3 like Texas, or maybe you're 11-0 and you want to get into the SEC championship and try to earn yourself that bye. Like there's a lot of people started to get all mad about the playoff expansion, but I think it's only going to help these games mean even more, specifically for our game. Other games should still mean more because it's a rivalry, but at the end of the day, like you said, it means more this year than what it has obviously when we didn't play. So yeah, some of the rivalry kind of and the hot-headedness has come down. But Casey, you and I went to the Texas A&M baseball game a couple of years ago, and I mean I was pissed the whole time because Texas was sucking, But you don't ever want to lose to a rival. Like period.
Right.
Story. It's gonna make you mad for at least 24 hours. So, like I said, I think the game I prefer to go to is probably the Cotton Bowl, the Red River rivalry. But there's no way I'm going to miss this game, right? And I think that I'm going to enjoy if Texas is able to beat it to beat you guys this year. I think I'll enjoy it mostly because it would be the one loss of y'all's regular season.
Right.
It's
like what a great season, 11-1, but you lost to Texas. Like
right.
It's like
you're about to get fired, Elko.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, y'all could pull the Ohio State and lose to your rival again, and then go win the national championship.
Yeah, so, that's true.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it. So, in regard to speaking of rivals, I'm assuming do y'all still consider Texas then y'all's biggest rival?
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody close, to be honest. Like they say, LSU is our rival. In my mind, maybe
LSU is like the one
Texas
team
and Texas only.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, some people try to tell me Arkansas is still a rival for Texas, and I'm like, maybe for somebody who's 45, but
yeah,
it's not. Like whatever, that's fine. How do you like that? Who's LSU playing this year? OU? Is that who they're playing this week? I think that's right. LSU. Who is their natural rival? I know this is a big tail off, but who's their natural rival? I know that they want it to be Bama, but
yeah, and for a while, those years where they would play a 9-6 game or something, and but I don't know who they would consider.
Right.
They used to play every this weekend. They used to play Arkansas I know that.
I could
but
see
I don't
that.
know if, yeah.
But now Arkansas's playing Missouri, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that also makes sense as a rivalry, like
Yeah.
considering where they're at. But okay, I was just curious. Okay, do y'all have any superstitions that y'all do before the game? This is a free space. You're good. This is safe. You can say whatever.
Yeah. Amanda has one. So Texas Ag's supposed to beat the hell out of the team for that day, and she has to post that on Instagram. And so she's done that every week.
I'll be sure to
For
find it.
myself, I just got to make sure I'm wearing Aggie gear. That's it. I
That's
don't have
fair.
any other superstitions really,
Well,
which
I
is
know
weird
you.
because as a football player, I was always very superstitious. I had to have my socks the right way, and I had to have the gloves on or not on, or whatever it may be.
Uh-huh. What about? I know you listen to the War Hymn pretty loud whenever I come over and watch.
I haven't
Or-
done that this year, so maybe I don't need to turn that on.
We're
Yeah,
driving by your house.
Yeah, you drive
Yeah.
by my house, you bastard.
yeah. You saw what I got me last year. We didn't score a touchdown.
Yeah. What about you, Scott?
No, nothing really. No, just watch the game.
Right
Rips,
on.
have a couple beers.
There you go. There you go. I
Fever.
take it next level sometimes. So to start, we started this a few years ago. We take a shot of tequila before every game. And that we take it and we send a video to some of our friends, or Brett, who's on here with us, and his wife Marie. And sometimes we have friends or family with us, and we just make everybody do it. And for whatever reason, it just became our thing. I think the year that we went to Alabama and won a few years back. That was the game that we started it, or the game before that, and it just kind of stuck. But I'm to the point where I'll twist my ring around my finger different ways. I'll ask Alyssa to switch seats with me. I'll change the way I'm drinking my beer depending on what. Like, superstitious doesn't even start to define where I get when it comes to specific teams I cheer for.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm probably not superstitious about is fantasy football, but like I just don't think that there's obviously no effect I have on the Texas game either, but it feels like I do, right?
Yeah, you're there. At least you're there, right? And
Yeah, you know where it started? Where it really, really started, like started becoming ingrained in my DNA was the 2017 World Series against the Dodgers.
oh,
Yeah, when was it Game 5? That crazy game where we win like 12-11 or whatever.
yeah. All those
Dude.
home runs.
Yeah, when we started making a comeback, Alyssa was cleaning something in the kitchen, and then she came and sat down, and we got like 2 immediate outs, and I was like, "Looks like there's other stuff you could clean over there." She was like, "I'm
Start
on it,"
cleaning.
and she left, and then like the rest is history. But yeah, I mean, I still remember exactly where I was sitting on that couch for every game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I feel like for baseball, I'm a little bit more superstitious.
okay,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, those World Series runs. Yeah.
exactly. All right, because I kind of in the realm of the superstition. I was curious, what breed of sheep did y'all take home last night to get ready for the game? Can't say.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I'll find out.
Do you prefer it? Do you like it shaved, or do you like it still like before shaved?
It's trimmed up. It's nice.
Okay, a little trimmed up, good deal. Like the
A little
whole
trimmed
thing, or
up,
just
yeah.
like the backside?
Yeah. You know where they got gig 'em, right?
I do now.
Speaking of animals, Reveille's not allowed in.
Yeah, I heard it's because they don't like dogs. Just
Yeah.
period. No, so
Interesting.
talk to me about Reveille real quick. And I know we're going off on other stuff we didn't say we were going to talk about. So obviously you guys didn't let Bevo in last year, and that's the first time in
Yeah,
the
we can't mess
history
up
of
the
Reveille.
field. We don't have a spot for him there. Actually, I didn't know they didn't let him in. I didn't know why.
Yeah,
I didn't know that either.
That's
Yeah.
a dangerous animal.
Mm.
You've seen the commercial where the guy, he leaves his Bevo's pin open and he gets out.
Yeah.
Yep.
You saw that? Yeah.
That's a thing.
That's dangerous.
That's real.
And didn't he go over Georgia Bulldog? He went after the Georgia Bulldog.
He did try to go after him. Yeah. And that's why
We
he's
can't
not
let that.
allowed at the Sugar Bowl or the Peach Bowl or anything like that. Yeah.
Dude, I saw an old video. It was one of the Bama Auburn games. I don't know what year it was, but one of the Auburn guys scored a touchdown or something, and they were all in the back of the end zone. And there was policemen there with canines, and one of those canines bit the player's hand. It was crazy.
Ooh,
I'll have to send you all that video.
that's wild.
Yeah. It made me think of that.
So how did Revel lose? Did she lose an eye?
Yeah. I think it was just like glaucoma or something.
Okay, so it wasn't like an accident. It was
No,
just
no.
something happening.
Some
Yeah,
disease or something where they had to remove it.
And now that she wears an eye patch, is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
She did it first. I don't know.
I think.
I don't know if she
Yeah, I
still
don't know that she wears it all the time.
Okay.
I think the fans were rooting for an eye patch, and she might have had an eye patch one game. I could be wrong on this, but I think that might have been the case.
I think it was right after like whatever operation or whatever.
Got it. Do y'all watch the SEC roll call by Mitchell or whatever?
Not this year, I haven't. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
He whenever he's dressed as the Aggie, he has the cowboy hat and an eye patch on. And I just put it together. I was like, oh, it's because Reveille lost an eye. That's got to be why.
Yeah.
Okay. Good deal. Okay, so not willing to say what breed of sheep. Okay, no worries. I was just curious if- good deal. Is it the same breed every year to year, or is that a superstition?
I didn't know. Is there different breeds? They're all the same to me.
All sheep are gray in the dark. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Good deal. All right. Well, I do appreciate you. Real funny, Casey. What a weird way to scratch your nose.
Can you still get a penalty for that?
God, I hope not, dude. If you can, that's so stupid.
No, I don't
Please
think so.
stop. Please stop. There are way more horns down gifts out there than I thought there were, though. People like you watch any game and they're like, "Oh, horns down." It's like you don't even play Texas on your schedule at all. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
I should have tried to sneak as many horns down as I could in this podcast.
We could have just had a little counter going in the bottom.
Yeah.
That'd be great. All right. So Casey, you want to give us your final prediction?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a close game. I think what's going to be the determining factor is if y'all can run the ball, and then two, if y'all can get to Marcel Reed and slow us down. I'm always kind of worried about the Aggies, and I've got that battered Aggie syndrome, so I predict y'all to win in a close game, 17-24, 17-28, or something like that.
Okay. All right, what you got, Scott?
I think it'll be similar to when we played LSU this year. I think first half will be close, but I think in the second half, our big plays, our explosive plays, I think will take over. So I'm thinking like 34-20, something like that.
Okay, 34-20. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
more of a
yeah.
route. Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I just don't know. I don't know. I just don't think that. I think we'll be able to score, especially in the second half. And then I just don't know if Texas will be able to move the ball much, but we'll see.
All right. Good
I
deal.
think it comes down to what Marcel Reed we get. If we get an electric Marcel Reed and we actually he runs the ball more, which he's kind of preserved himself and stayed in the pocket. If we get more of that, then I mean it could be a higher scored game for sure.
Yeah,
but it'll just depend on who we get. There's been times where we just get a Marcel that can't complete a pass.
What do you call it, Marcel mode or something?
Yeah, Marcel mode. Flip the switch, Marcel mode.
Like when
Marcel
he's good.
Is a good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Heisman push, which I don't. He'll have to have a huge game tonight if he wants to have a chance to win the Heisman. Yeah, I think he's, in my mind, pretty far back.
His odds. Candidates. Yeah, his odds got worse after last week. Pavia jumped him, I guess, because Pavia had like 6 touchdowns.
You pulled Reed in the first quarter, though, didn't you?
Yeah. He had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Already.
Real quick, I actually do want to talk about that Heisman stuff. So, does a Heisman need to be given out every year?
Why not?
Well, the Heisman is supposed to be like a really outstanding player, okay? So one that separates themselves from everybody else. Have you seen that out of any player this year?
Jeremiah Love, I think, is above and beyond.
Maybe.
I think you're getting into the bigger problem is it's usually just the best team's quarterback, right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, because I wasn't going to bring this up, but if you put Arch's numbers next to Marcel's,
I was going to lead into that.
Yeah, they're almost identical.
Right.
The difference is the losses. He doesn't have 3 losses. So,
Right.
yeah.
And how bad Arch has looked in some games, but he's been on fire the past, 5-6 weeks, except for really against Georgia was fine. Again, it wasn't great or it wasn't bad,
Yeah.
but like after the Florida game, he's been awesome. So,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what I mean is, you can look at the numbers at the end of the day. I mean, even Julian saying like he's only a little bit above Reed and Arch. It's like, what do we just
Well, his
feel like
passing, his completion percentage is pretty high up there.
Well, he's got Jeremiah Smith and Tate. Yeah. I think
right?
so.
Yeah. And
They're
again, I
both
think they're
injured, by the
playing
way.
against a bunch of inferior opponents as well. So, yeah. But with that, it's like, do we have to give out a Heisman every year? I don't know. Like they don't accept anybody or everybody. Excuse me. They don't always accept somebody into the Hall of Fame. Sometimes, like there are years that it's like we just didn't find that guy. There are plenty of other awards you can give, but the Heisman just seems like it should be just such a high level award that I'm just a little shocked that it's so like bland this year. I do think Jeremiah Love would be the vote I would get because he is awesome. You're 100% right there. But
he's electric.
Yeah,
you can tell he's a different player. I mean, every year or so we get, we had Bijan and like Jeremiah Smith probably at some point in time, but like we don't have that this year unless you go with Love, and they're just not going to go with somebody most likely that doesn't have a undefeated record and it's not a quarterback this year, unfortunately.
And if you were going to give it to Julian Sayin, you should just give it to Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah. If you I'm fine with giving it to a quarterback, but like give it to an exciting quarterback. Like at least when Johnny won it, right? Or like
right.
I guess that's why Pavia's odds have jumped. At least he's he's like if you watch Sayin or Mendoza, it's kind of like obviously they're great. Their teams are great, but I'm not like blown away, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That brings up a point we brought up Ohio State and Indiana and whatnot, and talking about the Heisman and the quarterbacks from an outside perspective. Do you feel like they have the top 3 rated properly, ranked properly?
So it's Ohio State, and then Indiana and then Texas A&M. I think Ohio State deserves.
I think Ohio State stays up there for sure.
Yeah,
but who has Indiana played and beat for you that justifies them to being above?
The Oregon game is pretty awesome, and they didn't just beat them; they handily beat them, right?
Yeah,
in Oregon.
Yeah,
that's a hell of a win. That's a really good win. I know you guys went to South Bend and beat them, but it wasn't. It was what, second week of the season? Is that right? Yeah. So I think it's just that win at the time after they had just come off the loss to Miami probably wasn't as impressive. Now to see what Notre Dame is now, Notre Dame is better. Notre Dame probably deserves to be in the 12-team playoff. I just hate how they can back in the way that they do, where they pay 2 ranked teams, they lose to both of them, and then they play everybody else with a combined win rate of 12%. And it's like, how is that? That doesn't make any sense for them.
Yeah, join a conference.
Yeah, come on, dude. Stop. Yeah, that's a whole.
And I guess it'll pan itself all out in the long run. Where if we win tonight, and then if we win the SEC championship, we'll make our way up in the top 2. But
you'd be top 2.
Do you think A&M deserves to be ranked number 2 if we beat y'all tonight?
Maybe if you if you decidedly win.
Yeah.
If you decidedly win, and by that I mean cool, call it 14 points, but we score something late to make it 14 points. For instance, kind of like what Scott predicted. You say
34-20.
20. Yeah. If it's 34-13 and then we score a fourth quarter touchdown and that's the game. Yeah, you could consider that jumping. I could see that. Because
the strength of schedule favors us, right? Our numbers, overall strength of schedule, were rated higher than them, right? Am I mistaken? Both of them.
I saw a graphic that showed that, but then I'm thinking about it. Their schedule must be pretty bad. The Indiana's.
Right. Exactly. Who have they played outside of Oregon? They beat Oregon, great win.
Yeah.
I'm not. I think
so. Indiana has the second ranked. I know that's home advantage. Sorry, continue. I'm gonna find it real quick.
Well, it's crazy. I'm trying to think who has played a tough schedule. The only thing I can think.
I remember at one point Bama had beat 4 ranked teams in a row. That was pretty impressive. Other than that, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I don't think that we have a clear cut like this is a top team this year, to be honest. And I don't know that anybody at the top has played a number of really tough teams and proven that hey, we're the clear number one. Now I think Ohio State's probably looked the best watching the games, but outside of them,
Yeah.
I can see the other spots flip flopping depending on the record, right? So
Yeah.
I was just curious what other people's thoughts were because all the graphics that I have seen shows that our strength of schedule, our the wins that we've gotten, even the rest of the schedule, like including I guess Texas, we still remain the strongest schedule out of the top 3, and they continue to put us at 3, which. Again, I don't know. I like I said at the very beginning of the podcast, I don't know that we're a top 3 team, but if we're a playoff committee, what rules are we following? It's kind of where I was kind of getting at.
Well, we could do a whole podcast on that.
Uh-huh. That's so true. All right, so I'm looking at a couple different rankings of strength of schedule. Y'all are ahead of Ohio State in both of them. We are ahead of y'all in strength of schedule in both of them. And Indiana is still up there ahead of everybody, which is interesting. Yeah.
Indiana's ahead of
Alabama seems
everybody,
to have
you
the
said?
toughest. Say that again?
You said Indiana's above everybody?
I see
Or Alabama?
Alabama's number 1 overall.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see Indiana having some pretty, like they're getting a lot of love. I see them like from between 2 and 5. But yeah, I mean there's a lot to be said about the strength of schedule. There's no doubt about that. And I think it matters. Like you need to be tested. It makes a good team great, like what we talked about and how you guys beat South Carolina and come back like that. It makes a big difference. So I could see you guys definitely being number 2. I wouldn't take it away from Ohio State at number 1. Granted, they haven't really played all that many great teams, but they have been doing exactly what you do to bad teams. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to take it away. And they're reigning national champions. So they haven't lost in 15 games or whatever it is. So I think you got to give it to them.
Yeah, they probably haven't had their closest game they played was Texas, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
And that was, yeah. God, don't take me back.
Week 1. Hey, I had a question. Did when you guys played OU, did Mateer play?
He did. That was his first game back after the surgery.
Okay.
But he hasn't looked the same since then, quite honestly. Which
Believe me,
sucks.
we know.
Right. Which sucks, but at the end of the day, you would know. At the end of the day, it was good that he did play because then it at least meant that, like, hey, Texas got to beat him with the quarterback who's their guy versus this, oh, you didn't beat him with the quarterback. So I'll give you all my prediction real quick. I think yesterday or 2 days ago, I said something like 30 to 27, and it would be a field goal by Texas to win it. So hopefully a good game going to that. Lots of points scored. I think. Say that again.
What's his name? Mason Shipley, right? The kicker?
Yeah. And, I want it to be a close game because that's the way rivalry games are supposed to be. Last year, 17-7 or whatever, it definitely could have been worse, like we talked about. Like Texas could have scored another touchdown, and you guys may have never still got in the end zone. Obviously, maybe you kick a few field goals early on, that could change the story. But if Texas wants to have a chance to be able to get in the playoffs realistically, they need to go in and like throttle, which is why I'd be curious because Sark gets real hesitant sometimes in some of these games, and he just like, let's just do enough to win. I think you might see at Texas, it's like we have to go out there and impress to be able to jump some of these other teams that are in front of us. And we also need teams to lose, don't get me wrong. But to even
that might be a good thing for you guys with that mindset going, play calling and stuff like that.
It could just be like guys, leave no doubt. Like if you think you deserve to be in the playoffs, we're the only team to play against 3 top 5 teams. 3 top 5? It's either 3 top 5 or no. I think it's It'd be 3
Ohio
top 5
State.
teams in one season. We'd be the only team, I think, to do that in quite a while. But if you go 0-3, then it doesn't really help. So you got to at least win one. So that's my prediction. I really just want it to be a good game. I could totally see it being something like last year, though, where see, the tough thing is last year, nobody wanted to make the mistake and not make the SEC championship. This year, it's not quite as important for y'all to win as it was last year. This year, it's way more important for us to win. So I think you'll see maybe some different play calling that way. Like you guys may try to slow the game down, and we're going to be like, no, we got to go. So we'll see.
Do you have any big injuries out this week?
Ant Hill is really the only big one. He's questionable, but he probably moved up to probable. I think he hurt his hand or something. I forget exactly what he had, but he had an issue, and he wasn't able to play last week. But at the end of the day, it was Arkansas, you know. So Ant Hill could be the guy who is a game changer, and I think he's going to come out because he's a junior. He's going into the pros next year, probably as a top 5 defensive
Him and
player.
Simmons are probably round 1, round 2 guys for sure.
Yeah,
right?
Simmons is still a sophomore, so we still have him for a year. But Ant Hill is a finalist for the Butkus Award, and he got robbed last year, in my opinion. Not only was he probably the Butkus Award winner, but he was probably the Bednarik Award winner. That's just my opinion. I think that his numbers and his impact on games were better than anybody else on the defensive side of the game last year. I think he's going to try and get out there and win it this game right here. And it's his time to do it, you know. He was a long-time A&M commit. And then y'all said, Jimbo, take this $74 million and shove it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Last question. Have y'all extended Elko yet?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
We extended him.
South Carolina.
South Carolina, we weren't supposed to release the information until after we won, if we won.
That almost
it got
came
leaked.
back.
It got leaked out early, right before the game. So I guess somebody within that was within that process or whatnot leaked the information. So it was like, man. And so there was grumblings near us in the stands of people being like, I can't believe you extended him and whatnot at halftime. And then after that, it all washed away. But
that was almost the most perfect Aggie thing I've seen in a while.
We'd have to buy him out right away.
He goes out and then he loses, and you're like, well, okay. Well,
never mind.
The emotions you had in that game where I can't believe we extended this guy to that's why we extended this guy. Like a wild 3 hours.
Yeah. There you go. I'd be curious to see if Mario Craver's fully healthy today. The last time we saw him on the field, he was limping around, and then we kind of set him last game. Obviously, just an easy opponent. But that's another thing to factor in is if he gets banged up again or is not 100%. I mean, we'll be without him. We'll be without Le'Veon Moss. We'll see how healthy Ruben is. I mean, they're both off the injury report, so that's good for us at least. Moss not, but Ruben and Mario. Yeah. And then KC seems maybe a little banged up, but he's been fighting through it. So, I mean, our top 2 receivers, to me, seem like they're slightly banged up. So we'll see what happens.
ABR, baby, ABR.
We do have some young guys that are stepping up.
Yep. That was one guy that I said.
Roman.
Yeah. That was the one guy I said in our preview. I said, man, that true freshman, like, if that's a guy that's going to come out and be like the third guy, because Ohio State did it to us as well. We locked down Jeremiah Smith,
Tate,
and then
no,
locked down Igbuka, and Tate was the guy that beat us. Yeah, we also had different DBs last year.
Oh, last year.
Last year, yeah. So
hey, ABR's from Mo City, I think.
He is. I think
Ridgepoint,
right? Yeah. I saw that. Yeah, should have been going to Elkins, is what it sounds like, but that's fine. All right, cool, fellas. Any last words?
Be good.
What was your prediction, Casey?
17-24-ish, somewhere around there. They beat by 4 or 2.
I'm just wondering about the total. So you're under, me and Justin are over. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm under.
Cool.
Yeah. Who knows? Like I said, it'll depend on if Texas is really trying to push the limit and try to impress and win, or if they just want to get into a fist fight. So
yeah,
we'll see what wins out.
I'll go under, and I'll give Texas, what is it, the 2.5?
Yeah.
So I'd be more comfortable saying that than an actual score if I get the change. But
that's fair.
Eternal pessimists.
Yeah, I mean, Mitch rolled off on me many years ago. Aggie battered syndrome is in full effect, and I've just seen our weaknesses. Our weaknesses can be exposed, and hopefully, I haven't watched enough Texas. The Texas that I have watched has been on the secondary TV. So, what I have seen is they seem to be improving. And so I don't know, that just worries me a little bit. Rivalry game is always tough, and it's here in Austin. So
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited. We're about to head down about an hour, so I'm looking
sweet.
forward to it.
It'll be fun.
Well, fellas, I appreciate you guys coming on and joining. I know last year we tried to do it, couldn't work out. As you can see, it's literally just a conversation. Like we just like to BS and talk about stuff. Yeah, I got nothing else for you guys. If you guys don't want to share the breed, then that's fine.
If I remember,
Yeah. All right, 41st Acre for
Get him, baby. Come on, Aggs. Let's take him down.
I'm Justin. We'll see y'all next time.
I'll shoot you a text after the game if we win.